Welcome to Never Ending Faith, the podcast where we dive into the power of faith, inspiration, and the unwavering strength that comes from trusting in God's plan. I'm your host, Dave Carver. I'm so excited to have you with us today. Whether you're starting your day, taking a break, or on a journey of your own, this podcast is here to encourage and uplift you. Each episode will explore the ways faith shapes our lives, helps us overcome obstacles, and fills us with hope for the future. So get ready to be inspired, refreshed, and empowered as we discover how God's never-ending faithfulness can transform every part of our lives. Let's get started and embrace the adventure of faith together. Welcome to the Never Ending Faith Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Carver, and I'm so glad you're here today. I've got something special in store for you in this episode. You see, I've always believed that the power to create is something that's been passed down to us from the Creator Himself. And that's why today's episode is all about how God's gift of creativity shapes our lives and our hearts, and how, even in our brokenness, we're still called to create. You know, I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately, and sometimes life hits us hard, knocks us down. But in those moments, God doesn't leave us. He's always there, lifting us up, reminding us that redemption is possible. And one of the ways I've seen that redemption unfold is through the power of music. In fact, recently, I wrote a new song that was inspired by a few things that I've seen in my life, but also by a country artist I've really been connecting with lately. Jelly Roll. His story, his lyrics, they really hit home for me, and they stirred something deep inside. I'm going to dive into that more, but first, I want to talk about the gift of creativity and what really means to create like God. The Bible tells us in Genesis 1:1, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." That's the very first thing we learn about our God. He's a creator. And the amazing thing is, He didn't just create the universe in a single moment. He spoke things into existence, shaping and molding creation day by day, with a vision that only He could see. Now think about this. God could have created everything in an instant, but He chose to take time to be intentional with His creation. And when He finished, He called it good. That's an important word, good. It wasn't just fine or okay. God's creation was good, and He saw the beauty in what He had made. And here's the kicker. As His children, we are made in His image. Genesis 1:27 says, "So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God He created them. Male and female He created them." We are created to be creators, to reflect the image of the Creator through our own work, through our own artistry. Whether it's music, painting, writing, or any other form of creativity, we are all called to reflect God's image in our work. But it's not always easy. Sometimes our own mistakes, our struggles, and our sin can cloud that creativity. That's what happened to me, and honestly, it's what inspired the song that I'm about to share with you. You see, in my life, I've made choices that I'm not proud of. I've been down a road that led me away from God, but that's where the beauty of redemption comes in. As I've been reflecting, I've thought a lot about how, even in our mistakes, God is still able to use us, and that's where the song comes in. I wrote it after feeling a deep connection to the struggle of others. The song is called Voices in the Dark, and it tells the story of regret, redemption, and the weight of choices made in the past. Now, I've got to be honest with you, when I first started writing this song, I was a little nervous. It's raw, it's real, it's a reflection of the brokenness that so many of us can relate to. But I think that's what makes it so powerful. So, before we dive into the song itself, I wanted to take a moment and remind you that just because we've fallen short doesn't mean that God has given up on us. He's always right there, ready to redeem, ready to heal. That's the good news of the gospel. Redemption is possible, and through Christ we can begin again. Even when we feel like the weight of our past is too much to bear, God's grace is enough. Now, with all of that in mind, here's the song that came from my own journey of reflection and redemption. I hope it speaks to you the way it spoke to me when I wrote it. Here is Voices in the Dark.
Young and wild, thought I had it all. Never cared to listen, never feared the fall. Whiskey and regret were my closest friends. Living for the moment, never thinking about the end. But now these four walls are all I see, and the man in the mirror ain't who I wanna be. Now I'm doing time cause I committed the crime. The result of my choices, I listened to the voices. They told me I was strong, they told me I was right. Led me down a road that stole away my life. Now the weight of my past is heavy on my mind. I was blind to the truth, now I can't rewind. Had a mama who warned me, a girl who cried, said I was slipping, but I went goodbye. Thought I was a rebel, thought I had control. Didn't see the devil digging deep into my soul. But when the handcuffs closed, I finally knew that every bad decision comes back to you. Now I'm doing time cause I committed the crime. The result of my choices, I listened to the voices. They told me I was strong, they told me I was right. Led me down a road that stole away my life. Now the weight of my past is heavy on my mind. I was blind to the truth, now I can't rewind. I can go back, I turn the car around, take a different road, put my feet on solid ground. But the past don't listen, it's time to wait. Guess I had to learn my lessons much too late. But now I'm doing time cause I committed the crime. The result of my choices, I listened to the voices. They told me I was strong, they told me I was right. Led me down a road that stole away my life. Now the weight of my past is heavy on my mind. I was blind to the truth, now I can't rewind. So I sit here alone in this cold dark cell, paying for the stories I wish I couldn't tell. Maybe one day I'll find peace inside, but for now I just watch the years pass me by.
I hope that song touched your heart. It's a reminder that no matter how far we've strayed, God is always there, ready to redeem. He created us to create, and He's still shaping us into the people He wants us to be. So as you go through your own journey, whether you're facing struggles or celebrating victories, remember that God made you in His image to reflect His goodness and creativity. And through Him, even the darkest parts of our story can be used for something beautiful. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Never Ending Faith podcast, and don't forget to share it with someone who might need a little encouragement. I'll see you the next time, and remember, keep the faith alive.